his name is...
It's John Bunday. It is July 4th, and there might be some weird visual artifacts. I'm not sure what's going on with my webcam right now. It's July 4th, and last night, on July 3rd, I finished RPG number 9, which is Pandora's Tower, on the Wii. And this is my actual boxed copy. So apparently this one might be climbing up in price now, but I got this back before I started doing YouTube, so it wouldn't be on my previous videos. It's not back when I didn't get this back when the Wii was a current console. Got this back when I was going through like a collecting phase before making collection videos and all that, before I was on YouTube. But yeah, so Pandora's Tower is a action RPG. So it's not turn-based. It is... Well, okay, let's have a look at the back. Even like this, will you still love me? A monstrous curse is consuming a young woman. Only the flesh of beasts dwelling within the 13 towers can save her. Use your chain to overcome the 13 towers before it is too late. As time ticks away, the maiden Elena is slowly turning into a beast. Defeat the monsters roaming the towers and return with their flesh before Elena's humanity is lost forever. Only when you have the flesh can the ceremony begin. Turn the tide in your favor using the versatile Oculus chain for everything from... Oraculus chain for everything from navigating the towers to battling the monsters within. Okay, so yeah, the story of the game is that your girlfriend gets cursed, which is the symbol on her back, which is this symbol here, and it's going to make her turn into a monster. But by giving her the flesh of the beasts from within the towers, holds it off. So, apologies if I'm going to start jumping from point to point here. Okay, the game itself is, imagine like 12 Zelda dungeons, but we still might have like the Majora's Mask kind of time aspect, which is when you are in one of the towers, in the bottom left of your screen there is like a timer, and if you let that go down too much, then the your girlfriend Elena is going to start changing into a monster. So the idea is that you work your way through the tower, and if the timer starts getting down too much, then you return and then feed her some flesh that you managed to get during your visit, and then you could also sleep to heal up, and you only have certain limited storage space on you, so you can also then store or sell off, and then also like upgrade your weapon as well, and return to the tower to continue. Monsters respawn all the time, which you kind of need if you need to give her, if you're not going to get to the boss in 1 or 2 runs, you need to be able to get more flesh to be able to reset your timer. So at the top of each tower is a master, and the whole idea is that you're meant to collect 12 master fleshes to give to your girlfriend, so that to try and remove the curse. So if you enjoy RPGs because of like say side content or having like a world map to explore and all that kind of stuff, there's not really any of that. There's the observatory, which is where you're sleeping and staying and all that, and that's where you go back to. When you're there, the timer does not tick down, it's only in the towers, so you can like chat, and you have to build a relationship with this woman. Well, what I mean is that above the timer there's this like golden light, and if you talk to her, if you give her gifts and things like that, the light goes up because there's like 10 points. Depending on how many of those points you've filled or got the light up till, decides which ending in the game you get. So the point of no return is before facing the bosses of towers 11 and 12. There's a light dark kind of thing, so you're facing two masters at the same time. So as soon as you beat 10 towers and go into this, as soon as you face the bosses of that's when it's the point of no return. So you need to, if you want to get the best ending, fill up at least 8 of the dots, get the light up that far, and you get the best ending of the game. I would also recommend going on YouTube to see the other endings, because they do actually give you quite different endings, so it's definitely worth checking out. It's not like one piece of additional dialogue, there are some big changes. So there were times when the game kind of, I don't want to say dragged, that's not the right word, but where it was just going dungeon to dungeon to dungeon. There was not much breaking it up. But I think if you play the game for long stints, you definitely feel that more. But if you kind of do say break it up, do a tower each / dungeon, each session, then it's not so bad. And you may be tempted to kind of let the timer run down a lot to just get through the tower. But the problem is that the light that's filling up, if you let her start transforming, that starts to lower. So you do kind of have to be very careful with that. But so it's a game that I would definitely recommend. If you have a Wii and you either already own it, haven't played it, or you can find it at a price that you are happy with, then I would definitely recommend it. It's unique, it's interesting. Okay, so the way it controls is with either nunchuck as well as the Wiimote, or with the classic controller. So, but normal combat is so you use the analog stick to actually move around, and then you use the A button on the Wiimote to use a sword attack, for example. But the way the motion control works is that you have, I mentioned about this chain that you've got. So that you point the Wiimote at the screen, and then that puts a red dot on it and zooms in, and then you can use that to either attack enemies as well, because to get flesh, or actually to do, to be honest, better damage, you wrap the chain around the enemy. You press B and it does it for you, as long as you're pointing at the right area. And then you hold down the C button on the nunchuck, and it starts charging up the chain, and then you do a swipe with the Wiimote, and then that does an attack. You can also use it to traverse. So if there's a way you can say there's a ladder, you can point to the top of the ladder and go straight up, for example, or swing across places if there's something you can grab onto, stuff like that. It's not, the motion controls aren't too egregious. They were fine. There were some frustrations where, say you are trying to point it at an enemy, but then say because you and they are moving around, and then something in the environment gets in between, you or the Wiimote or whatever and the enemy, then you're not getting the enemy. And also, because to wrap up an enemy, you have to hit very specific points. You may be pointing at it, but then it doesn't hit there. On the whole, I think it was pretty accurate, but there were times where we were oh, come on. But anyway, so one that I'm definitely glad I played. I think it took around 23 to 25 hours, I think, to beat. So it's not too long. It's not been the longest I've played, but it's also not been the shortest. So I'm glad I finally played this. It's been on my backlog for a little while. So Pandora's Tower. Give it a try. Until next time, catch you later.